Let's talk about the rise of tribalism and bigotry in Nigeria. Can we? I know this is a very sensitive topic that many people are running away from. Nobody wants to talk about it. People are shy. But when you see the rise of these conversations on social media spaces, it is important that we actually talk about this. It is that giant in the room that everybody is running away from. And I think that's what I do here. I talk about those unconventional topics that people don't want to talk about. I try to bring it to the limelight because it is important that if we do not speak, we are partly enabling what's about to come, what's about to befall the future generation of this country. Nigerians are a very diverse set of people. We have different people from different tribes, different regions, worship differently, eat differently, think differently, speak differently. We have virtually over 300 tribes, ethnic groups in the country, and probably over 500 tribes in the country. Some states boasting over 40-something different tribes, right? So we are a very multi-diverse country. But the truth of the matter is that in our diversity lies our strength also. But over the past couple of years, coming down to post-2023 elections, the rise of bigotry has been over the roof. It is now over mainstream. It is now a normality. It is now an in thing. People are openly bigots with their chest. They don't even hide it. They are not even scared of talking about it. They're not even scared of even openly associating themselves with bigotry. And it's painful to see, but at the same time it is amusing to watch. When I see some things I see and the conversation, I'm like, wow. But for me, it's important I lay down these facts for Nigerians to understand that bigotry itself that we're witnessing right now, it's actually the creation of the current set of people in power. So you can see what is currently happening in Lagos from the last elections coming down up until today. You see the subtle attacks on businesses, subtle attacks on a set of people from a particular sector of the country, majorly in Lagos. And unfortunately for Nigerians, the people that have always championed this tribalism and bigotry in Lagos are now sitting at the center of power in the country. So we are in for a rude shock if we do not tackle it right now. So we have noticed in Lagos, if you just need to look back to Tinubu's tenure right from his days as the governor of Lagos up until today, that every election cycle he always starts by, first of all, polarizing the people and making sure that his opponent, he paints him with a different color, an ethnic color or coloration. He always points and paints his opponent as an Omo Igbo. And so therefore, he has always sold this to his grassroots, the grassroots of base that he has back there, that the Ebos want to take over Lagos. But the truth of the matter is that the Ebos have been in Lagos since the 15th centuries, doing businesses with the Yorubas, living together, intermarrying, having a good time, loving themselves. They have their differences. What accumulated to the Civil War, and we know all those things that happened within that period. All those things, yes, we cannot hide the fact that we have differences, right? But Tinubu have successfully weaponized our differences to the point whereby he has made the common man or the common woman in Lagos politics feel like there's this inherent threat by the Igbo people that are just in Lagos doing their businesses. Are we going to say that there are some places that some Igbos have contested for political positions in Lagos? Is it false? It is true. Because there are actually some Igbo-dominated places in Lagos. I can talk about the Festac, Ojo, Alaba, Agor Palace, all those places. We have so many Igbos. These are highly Igbo dense areas, and most of the people have come out there to contest for local elections there. I do not necessarily agree with it, but I do not also see that's a problem because we are actually one Nigeria. So wherever you come out from, wherever you have done well in a particular place, there's no reason why you should be stopped from vying for positions. We have seen Nigerians go to other countries and vie for positions. If Nigerians can go to UK and vie for positions, go to Canada, vie for positions, MP positions, go to America, vie for positions, why can a Nigerian from a part of Nigeria not vie for position in that part of the country? But that's a discussion for another day. Let us focus on this bigotry. So with the rise of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's dynasty in Lagos has been the rise of ethnic coloration in politics in Lagos. So we look at 2015 elections, and a man came out called Jimmy Abaj. Jimmy Abaj wanted to contest to be the governor, I think, against Ambode, and the next thing, flyers were everywhere. Jimmy Chukwu Abaj. Jimmy has no Igbo ancestry. He has no Igbo lineage. He has nothing Igbo blood in him, but he was painted with the Igbo blood, with the Igbo agenda, so to say, and all of a sudden, Jimmy is an Igbo candidate. We cannot vote for Jimmy. That was it. In the same 2015, we saw the Oba of Lagos come out and say that if you do not vote for the candidate, which is Ambode, we will throw you guys into the lagoon. We have seen all these rhetorics coming out from people like M. Solomon even in the last election, where they say, Shukudi. If you people don't come out and vote for who we say we should vote, you have seen this consistently from Tinubu's base. So it is no coincidence that with the rise of Tinubu in the center of power in Nigeria today, bigotry is now mainstream. Look at who he has as his chief media aide, Bayo Onanuga, a known bigot that came out and said this, that the Ebos should stay away from politics in the southwest. These are the people that are currently occupying the seat of power in Abuja today. So do not be surprised when you see a rise in bigotry or the continuous rise in bigotry in our conversations, especially on social media, because for Tinubu it is important for him that these stuff that divide us stay amplified. If he does not amplify, or if he doesn't have a system whereby bigotry is amplified, then just will be united towards a common cause. To talk about the way he has been mismanaging the government for the past 2 years and the way his party APC have mismanaged Nigeria for the past 10 years. You cannot point to one single sector. I always challenge my APC friends. I'm like, I want to hear one thing you guys have done in 10 years. 10 years of APC in power, what have Nigerians benefited in 10 years? There's nothing you can point to. You cannot say that there have been a change in any single sector, and you can say we are better off today than we were 10 years ago. None. So for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's only quench to get and stay in power is to do what? Make sure bigotry is mainstay, because when bigotry is mainstay, a poor man is going to forget that he's hungry, an insecure man is going to forget that he's unsafe, an uneducated person is going to forget that he's an illiterate. They're all going to unite along their ethnic or their tribal lines and fight themselves. The peasants will fight themselves. Why he and his colony of friends up there continue to siphon and steal the daily resources of the country? Unfortunately, as long as we do not speak out against these things, it is going to continue. And so you can see with the renaming of the Charlie Boy bus stop and the renamings of streets that have bared, many of these streets had Igbo names for decades. Why? Because naturally the Yoruba man does not have problem with the Igbo man. Every weekend they get married to each other. Every weekend there's intermarriage, there's businesses. We do things together. These people for decades. Do we naturally have differences? Yes, we do, because we are not one people. But we understand these nuances, and we know how to respect ourselves and not to cross boundaries. But with Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appearance, it has been weaponized. And it's important we say these things out for Nigerians to understand. So when you see the bigotry flying up and down, understand these things, that they are not actually a reflection of the true people or the will of the true people. It's structured, it's a psyop by the people in power today to make sure Nigerians stay divided, so that we do not talk about the most important things to us. I do not actually believe much in dwelling on AI, but at times I feel there's some useful need to ask AI some questions. So somebody asked AI Grok a question on X, and he was like asking, please, can you just tell us, based on followership of the major candidates in presidential candidates, how can you rank their followership in percentage? And it read, let me read this verbatim so that it doesn't, I do not jump the gong. Let me read this straight out from what Grok said. This guy asked Grok, let me get that real quick. Okay, yes. So the guy was like, Grok, between Baptist, Articulate, and Obedience, who has the most social media spread based on percentage? Also identify the ones with most of the bot accounts. And Grok was like this and said, based on recent X activities and analysis from diverse sources like reports on Nigerian political boards, Obedient hold the largest social media spread, 60% of mentions and engagements, driven by organic youth support. Articulate follows at 25% and Baptists at 15%. Baptists appear to have the most bot accounts per claim of funded propaganda networks. I just want to break this down for them just to understand something. In essence, is that Tinubu's support on social media that you see, it's 15%. That is, he has the lowest support of all the presidential candidates, and even in the lowest support that he has the highest number of bot accounts that actually support him. So what you see is not reality. What you're seeing is make believe. So you see that in 15% of the support he has on social media, majority of them are bot accounts. They are not real accounts. So when you go behind and check, the handles are actually propagating this bigotry, tribalism, divisive statements. Just go check all these accounts. They are either faceless accounts with they don't have a face to them, or they're probably based abroad. These two criteria are one of the most important criteria you can always check. They're not in Nigeria, or they're faceless accounts. They cannot actually bring out their faces to do this. Why? Because they are not real. One person can control 20 accounts. I can control 30 accounts if I deem it fit. But I do not have that time or that resource, or do I have an evil agenda like these guys have? Their plan is to keep us divided, and every 4 years they will come back. But for Tinubu, it is important he sustains this division. If Nigerians are not divided, we will be asking the real important questions. What are you doing with all these billions of dollars you have been borrowing? For the past 2 years, you have borrowed more money than Obasanjo, the late Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari combined. You have borrowed more money in 2 years than all these guys combined, and you're still borrowing more with nothing to show for it. And Nigerians are not asking these questions because Nigerians on social media are fighting and defending a tribe or a religion that they were born into. Welcome to my Pep Talk, the Emir Sirdam show. Until I see you guys next time, stay believing. Thank you.